Hello, hello. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We are so excited that you're here. I picked specifically a group that was coming back from our Puerto Rico trip. I love the getaways. I have been earning them now for over 11 years. When I very first started 11 years ago. I started in February, and Maria was at the first ever company getaway in Las Vegas, like the weekend that I placed my order. And then she puts me in this group chat and she said, who they announced the next getaway, and she said, "Who wants toes in the sand in Cabo in May?" And I thought, yeah, right, whatever. Because I had never really done this type of business before, and I really had very little confidence in my ability to sell a product. I mean, I was like, I'm a great hairdresser and I'm really good at educating people and giving them the right product for their hair, but selling vitamins, like I don't know anything about that. But because it did change my life very quickly, physically, and I talked about it so much, I did earn that trip right away. And we went to Cabo in May of 2014. It was the first time I had ever been out of the country. I had to get a passport so I could go. I'd never been to a resort before. Like it was just amazing. And we have so many of these stories within the team, well, and within the company, because of that. And so, like, my husband and I both have seen places we never would have seen or booked or paid for ourselves, thanks to Lavelle. And I kind of wanted y'all to hear from others about this Puerto Rican trip. Alex, since I see you first, I'll go ahead and just let you kind of share with us some things like what stood out to you about this trip versus others. What trip number was this for you?
If you include Palooza as a trip, because I lump that into the getaways as well, because it's still just that kind of vibe when the team gets around one another. This would have been number three. Cancun was my first qualified lifestyle getaway, and this one I attended as a guest, not even from our team though. So, but yeah, what stood out the most, I think it's just the team vibe when we get around one another. We kind of just always pick up right where we left off, and everybody that I see, it's always Ryan and Joanna, um, Angela and Peter, and even Gina and Kai. Like they're the ones who I'm always usually like linking up around. So and then meeting some of the new folks that have came on. Verge has a big team that's coming up. Obviously, Joanna does, and there was even a few from her team that weren't able to attend that we usually kind of link up with. But it's always just the team vibe. Like the being in paradise is always fun, but being around the team, I think, is what kind of always stands out the most, and it's always my favorite part.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk. I'm going to ask about the trip and cab. Um, Customer acquisitions bonus. What did you think when that launched? And then what did you think when they made the new portion for 10 customers?
Well, it's big. It's a. Oh, am I still the one going? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. It's a good shift of going from the kind of marketing and building a team to kind of direct sales and bringing on customers and whatnot. So it's a good shift because some people favor the customer
Mhm.
acquisition side of the business. So it's good that we're able to kind of focus on those people if they want to be involved with customers and reach out. And some people are really good at that, and some people are really good at preaching the opportunity and building a team. So the fact that we get done with bonus season, at the end of the year, and then we shift to customer acquisition, it's good to kind of include everybody's strengths.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to hop on over to Jen. Jen, share with us kind of same aspect, like what trip number is this for you, getaway earned, and tell us how it was for you.
This was actually my first getaway, but I came on as a guest. So I started thriving in October of 24. So I'm fairly new, and I it's there's no words to describe what I felt. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of words, but it's just really indescribable. And the vibe that I get when we're on our team meetings and our Zoom is like amazing, but actually meeting some of our team in real life is it's just like I said, it's indescribable. And like Alex said, the team's vibe alone is so welcoming, so motivating, and they just really support you. And just this trip alone was like, I don't want to miss the next lifestyle again. I don't want to be on the opposite end watching them enjoy themselves. I want to be part of that. So it definitely is motivating. I'm super grateful and thankful for coming on this trip and just the camaraderie. I work remote, so I don't have like work people that I see every day, but I look forward to our Zoom meetings. But like I said, coming to this lifestyle getaway and being there in real life and meeting, Angela, Peter, Joanna, Ryan, everybody. I mean, obviously, it wasn't our whole team, but meeting those that I see weekly or even speak to daily is just undescribable. I really don't have any words. I don't know where I could pick all the words, throw it in there, but it's super motivating, and meeting other people on other teams and how welcoming and supportive they are. And we're all different walks of life, and it's not just one specific person that needs to thrive or needs everybody needs to thrive. And there's no company like this. So I'm just in awe.
Well,
Unpack.
and I didn't know that you were that new. So I love hearing that extra perspective. And you're right. Like once you've been on a getaway, you're like, I don't want to miss the next one. Like I've only missed two in
Mhm.
11 years. And I'm going to tell you both times I had to miss those two, I was like serious FOMO. I'm like, I'm not doing this
Right.
again. And so definitely, because the company is top notch. The community here
Right.
is amazing. And especially where y'all are, Angela has seriously created some awesome community vibes,
Yes.
and Twin and Jackie as well. So it's awesome to see and to be able to spend time with y'all this week because it was a smaller, intimate getaway was really awesome. Okay,
Yes.
what's your thoughts, Cab? Do you have any tips and tricks on getting customers that you can add?
Um, well, with me, just like you and like you explained, I'm I don't know. I didn't know what I was getting into. I mean, I'm a day one thriver. I just knew I'm a product of the product. And just having that as an option kind of brings you back to the basics where you're grabbing your customer and then you're going to go and offer, Thrive for free after that. And then it's just going to spread from there. And basically, I think it's a lot easier than trying to change someone to promote because you want them to be experience the product itself themselves. So I think just being able to get the product out there and having customers sign on and spread the word as well. I don't know. It's just I think it's an easier way than focusing on promoting, and then that kind of leverages it. So yeah.
Well, and especially because, so like me, you're a product of the product. I mean, I think we all are a product of the product. But when you have an instant life-changing feeling that you literally can't shut up about something, that we really are a product of the product.
Yeah.
Like I remember being at the salon and people being like, "What's that sticker?" And oh my gosh, you need this in your life. Okay, or whatever. And I was like, "No, you need this in
You
your
need
life."
this.
Like I literally wanted to shake everybody that rolled their eyes at me. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you don't understand. Like, this is the Holy Grail. Like, this,
Yes.
I feel better than I've felt in 15 years. Like, you don't get
Yeah.
it.
Absolutely. I agree. Just it's some like I said, like it's it's something that I need every day. I can't not thrive. And if I don't thrive, I'm like, dang, I need to go back home and now I make sure I have thrive. I have, everything with me in case I miss. It's in my car, it's in my purse. So um that it is definitely life changing. My life definitely has changed since I started thriving. And yes, I'm new, but um I don't think I'll ever need anything else besides thrive.
I mean, I'm 11 years in. I'm going to tell you, no, you don't. All right. I will switch over to Gina. Gina, Are you where you can unmute?
I'm here.
Hi. Okay.
Hey,
Same questions. Hi, how are you? Um,
good.
what getaway is this for you? How long have you been with the company? And let's kind of go from there.
I have been with the company for 4 years now. My 4 year anniversary was actually on the 16th, so I got to celebrate a little in Puerto Rico. This is my fourth or fifth lifestyle getaway. If you want to count Palooza, then this would be my seventh trip with Lavelle. Um, And I want to say that this past lifestyle getaway was different compared to my first. My first was Riviera Maya, and it was so fun. But this one was definitely intimate. When you say like we had a lot of team bonding, we team bond at every time we get together. But I felt like we had a lot of corporate around us, and they wanted to get to know us. Well, I felt like they wanted to get to really know us at this one. I felt like I spent a lot of time with them every single day. Usually there's like a lot more of us. So I feel like they spend time with other people, but because our group was so small, like I got to get to know some of them and I really enjoyed that. Um, I wanted to piggyback on what you said earlier about, you know, this being a dream. Like before I started Lavelle, I didn't think I was going to go on so many vacations so often. So when these lifestyle getaways happen, I always want to run for them. I get FOMO when I miss out on any kind of gathering. Even a local, I will try my best to get to those. So yeah, this past trip was definitely one for the books. Um, the team bonding, making reels, spending time with everyone. It's always like a family reunion.
Absolutely. It is. And it's always so fun to see everybody. It's like, oh, I haven't seen you. Like we see each other on Zooms, but
Yeah.
be able to interact. Okay, customer acquisitions bonus. What are your what are you doing for that?
Okay, so the customer acquisition bonus, when it first launched and we had to get the 20 customers, it was honestly a lot for me to swallow. I was like, okay, 20 customers is a little a lot, even though I've been here for so long. But when it came down to like, okay, let's do 10 customers, that is totally doable, especially if you're helping your customers thrive for free. I was able to help my customers thrive for free. That's how I was able to get my 10 customers last month. Um, and that's and then duplication, right? Like we're trying to duplicate our VIPs, and that will help as well, getting your customer acquisition. I love the fact that they narrowed it down so it's a lot easier to accomplish.
Well, and you know what I've seen and I've noticed, and drop in the chat, y'all, if you're noticing this, I'm not gonna lie, like I had Auto Elite, that's 12 plus customers every month for years now. But when I saw the 20 for customer acquisitions, I was like, oh, that's like a lot, and like I had over 20 at one point, but sometimes some drop off. And when they did the 10, I was like, oh, I got this. And so many people, excuse me, so many people within our team were the same. It's like, oh, I got 10. What I'm noticing is once they hit their 10, that self-esteem, that confidence is coming in, and it's like, oh, I can get 20. Where before, it was like, and now it's like I can get 10, and so more people are hitting even the 20 than did before because they just weren't even going for it.
Yeah, I feel like once you hit your 10, it gives you like that, oof, like let's go for the next one. Like let's just go.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like, I'm not a runner or gym person, but it's that what people talk about when hit so many reps or whatever, it's easy to go for 10 more or go for the next
Yeah.
mile, it's that same kind of thought process. Okay. Any last minute tips or tricks from you?
No, just keep going, guys. We have what is it, 3 more days?
Mm-hmm.
3.5.
Yeah.
Let's go.
3.5. Plenty of time. Okay. Joanna.
Hi, good morning or
Oh,
afternoon.
hi. You look so pretty.
Thank you. You too.
Happy birthday again.
Oh, thank you. Tomorrow's my actual 40th.
Okay. But
Yeah.
I love that y'all like celebrated in Puerto Rico. Like it was clearly like an awesome time to celebrate.
Yes, it was. It was.
Okay. So how long have you been with Lavelle and how many getaways is this for you?
I've been with Lavelle 2 years since February 2nd of this month, and this is my third lifestyle getaway. First one was Bahamas and Cancun, and then now Puerto Rico. And then, of course, Palooza.
Yes, of course. Okay. So kind of share what for you, like earning the next getaways, and then what was Puerto Rico like compared to the other ones?
So for the first couple ones, I wanted to. So when I became a promoter or took the business seriously back in November 2023, I was told that there's usually a lifestyle getaway every three. It's like quarterly, right? So the next one was supposed to be February, but I think that year in 2024 there wasn't one. So I made it a goal to make it to Palooza, and of course, once we found out that the next one was in June, I went for it. I was like, I want to go to this lifestyle getaway. With the team that I'm on with Ange, we hype up all the getaways, all the locals, all the events, because that's where everything, where the foundation is, meeting everyone in real life and just being there with everyone. Like everyone has already said, that vibe is just different. The energy is different. It's a whole different group of people. I feel like my husband and I have so many, we have family, friends, but our Thrive group is just a different vibe where it's like everyone is just so positive and fun and like good vibes all around.
It's like the family you want to be around. Like, sometimes you have family that you're like, "Oh, good, I'll see you at the next reunion." But this, it's like Thrive family. It's like, "Can I see you next week?" Like you just there's no like yucky thrivers, right? There's like everybody is happy, everybody has a good attitude. And what I loved about this getaway, and I feel like we see this at all the getaways, but because it was smaller, maybe I noticed it more. Stephanie Grawchick, and I will tell y'all, I never stop learning from my leaders. I never stop learning from within my team. I never stop learning from leaders outside of my team. Constantly learning. And one thing that I love that she did, she grabbed her phone. If she saw a leader that had been shouted out for cab bonus or anything, hey, can I grab you? Can you real quick? I'm making videos for my team. And she was making videos just real quick. Hey, tell me how you're hitting cab. Tell me what you're doing. And she did this all around the pool. And I'm in those team chats of hers. And so like her people that weren't there were like, thank you so much for these videos and these tips and tricks. Cause we plan Zooms like this, and we plan huddles and different things. But that was just literally super quick nuggets for everybody. So you can see her team commenting. They're like, the videos are so helpful. We love the nuggets. And so taking that, I was like, okay, I need to be more mindful as a leader and do that. Like I do things like where I'm like, okay, I want to interview you. I want to put you on the Zoom. I want to do this. But I'm like, dude, just taking quick, tell me right now what you're doing. Like it was blowing up. And so I love learning and doing, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do more of that, kind of thing. And I learned from y'all and I learned from Ange, and it's just so great. Okay, Joanna, cab bonus. Tips, tricks, what are you doing? What would help somebody on here that's not quite there?
So for cab bonus, I was actually hitting the 20 cab almost like a year straight, but when it hit 10, that's when I noticed a lot of my customers wanted to become promoters.
Oh,
So I mean, it was a
that's
really,
not a bad thing.
it's a good thing, it's a really good thing because it shows that, some people are very introverted, I feel like, and they don't want to build a team or they don't want to, build any flip promoters or anything like that. They kind of want to work like intricately with themselves first. And new promoters that I've gotten on the on Thrive has actually told me that I got turned on once I saw the cab was 10 customers, and they're able to make that $500 bonus already. A lot of people on my team do work full-time jobs, so it's finding that balance and harmony between their job and then running their business.
Mhm.
So, and then just baby steps. I feel that simplicity of just having the 10 customers initially, just like Gita says, is like a stepping stone to get them to the next level, to 20, and then so
Mhm.
on and so forth. And I feel like when I was hitting my 20 cabs, I was going into my network of direct customers asking them, hey, thriving for free. That's literally our bread and butter. I always say this is thriving for free because you don't get that anywhere else. Wherever you go shopping, anywhere, you don't get that. So I like to push that on about thriving for free so that even though they're not your direct customers, they're still referrals and they will still count as your cab.
Yes, absolutely. And that is something too. I know as we add things to our comp plan or as we add, just there's so much goodness that the company keeps just flooding at us, but we do have to remember to constantly be at the basics, refer to get it for free. Oh, by the way, when you get just one new referred customer as a customer, you're going to get the 25% credit rebate, right? Like there's so many things to just help customers get customers as referrals. And then that helps your cab and that helps you with your next getaway. But I will tell you, my first goal was to get it for free because we were completely broke. I felt so freaking good so quickly, but I was like, I'm not going to be able to afford this every month. Like, there's no freaking way. And then whenever I was like, oh wait, what is refer to get it for free? Like, is it really free? Like, I had all the questions. The VIP bonuses, I was like, is it real money? Is the product really free? But that was my very first goal was I need to know that I'm not going to run out of this and I need to get it free. And so that is something, if y'all didn't hear anything on this Zoom, if you take anything away, we've got to be at the foundation of getting it for free. Any last tips and tricks before we head over to Cliff?
Definitely just keep sharing every day, every time. I mean, I bought the mint chip and chocolate covered strawberry shakes with my credits and I
Mhm.
shared that. I was like, look, I got my shakes for free, basically, just the tax and shipping. And
Yeah.
it is what it is. Share it, share Thrive for free, share your products every day, share how you feel, and, just always go back to basics when you feel stuck.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you all, Alex, Jen, Joanna, and Gina. We appreciate you greatly. All right. We are moving right over to Cliff. Cliff emailed me yesterday and was like, hey, how can I help this week? Push it, into the month. And I'm like, hey, want to be on our Zoom tomorrow? So here, let's see. Are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
Hello.
Hello, hello. It's always
We,
weird because like I'm looking at myself as like right next to you, thinking that that's how
oh,
everybody else sees these Zooms, when in fact I'm probably so far down the list no one even knows at that.
yeah, I
So
couldn't
yeah.
see you, but hi. We missed
Well,
you in Puerto Rico.
look, looking at all the pictures, listening to the stories, listening to all that, I have severe FOMO. This is probably since I joined Lavelle 8 years ago. I'm coming on 8 years now. I think this is one of the first events that I have missed but when I started taking a step out from behind the scenes a little bit. And it looked so amazing, so fun, so relaxing. And I think, Alex, what you said is perfect, right? Look, there's teams from all over that just get to interact, have fun, and it's not like you're in a competitive landscape with each other. You can honestly share the best tips and tricks amongst each other to make everybody better, because there's 300 plus million people in the US, and you're not going after the same customers, right? This isn't like a corporate sales job where you're fighting other people. You've got your networks and your social influence areas, and the more you can team, the better off we are, right? There's what is there? There's no I in team unless you draw the A that one way and you're like, yeah, it is. It's right there in the a-hole type situation. But yeah, no one wants to do that. But no, I had severe FOMO missing out on that. I'm glad you all had an amazing fun time. The best place to get together again is just almost, geez, it's in a month and a half at this point at Thrive Elevate. So if you haven't had a chance to buy the early bird tickets, I know they're going to be taking them offline here soon because we're just going to move on to probably normal ticket sales. So come to it, right? One day, immersive experience, going to be an amazing party. For those in attendance, you'll get to hang out with us. We get to have a good time. I'm always big energy hyping on stage, but when you get to know me behind the scenes and stuff like that, I'm a normal person just like everybody else is. I have kids that go to school. I've got a wife that buys too much stuff on Amazon. We all live the exact same thing. Don't tell Val I said that, but yeah,
I'm like, oh, you're in trouble.
yeah, no, she knows it. It's like every day. Ooh, what's the mystery product? Not for me, of course, but hey, let's just see what it is. Nothing's happier than getting something delivered to your door. In all honesty, even if it's like a $5 package, it's great.
Well, and especially if you forget what you ordered, you're like, I don't know, what is it?
It's
Surprise.
Christmas in February. Yeah, it's amazing.
All right. So really quick though, I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
How much weight have you lost on my GLP? Because we've literally watched you. You're like the my GLP first, and we've watched your transformation. So where are you at?
On all honesty, the most I've lost, and I've come back up because I've been putting more weight into my training programs. And so I've pumped up probably about 5 pounds, but I hit 195, which is the lowest I have been. I broke my 200 barrier since college. And so, I mean, we're talking, geez, 25 plus years of carrying a ton of weight. I'm sitting right at around 201 at this point. So I'm down 38 pounds from my heaviest, I believe, is where I was at. So perfect for me, right? I don't want to get too I'm getting to that point. It's like, okay, now I want to start focusing on target little areas, but I'm happy, right? Other than the fact I have to buy new clothes most of the time because I don't have anything that fits. There is a fallback to this. So be careful what you do on that. But yeah, I love it. I take it every day. People ask me, well, how do you do it? What's your program? I've tweaked mine a little bit as well too. I work out. We wake up at 5. I'm in the gym at 6. And I pop a Sculpt Pro and the O2 capsules. So that's what I do first. Then when I get home is when I actually take my GLP capsules. And then I'm about 45 minutes to an hour later, just because the strength and what it is. And I actually will kind of blend together a Thrive Pro shake because it's got such amazing, all the proteins that are in there and the creatine and the additional BCAAs and such with sometimes half of a my GLP shake. So I'm getting a ton of extra protein. I'm getting all the great dihydroberberine and the konjac powders and the my H&B and all the other great stuff that's inside of it. Just to kind of help, give me an extra boost at that point.
I love it. I love it. And that's, we've talked about that a lot. Like Jason Camper, when he first started talking about the My GLP system, he said, this is going to be something that, yes, you can customize for your needs, and we've seen that already. I always try to give myself a good 8 weeks on any new product before I start kind of messing with stuff, there are some products that I'm like, that was just not for me. But then there's some that I'm like, this is freaking amazing. And so when, give it more than a week before you're like, I need this and I need that and tweaking and, but I love the results that we're seeing with the My
amazing.
GLP. And it's also important to remember this is not going to be for everybody. Just like Elite wasn't for everybody, like for me, I took Elite, but Classic was still like my jam. And so, but then we saw people on Elite have amazing experiences. And then we're seeing the same with my GLP. And there are going to be people that are like, I miss Elite or I miss my Classic. And that's okay. So it doesn't mean it doesn't work if one person's body is a little off from it. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there for y'all. Cliff, let's talk. We've got a few days left in the month. What would you recommend or what would you see? You're not a promoter, but what works.
Yeah. And I will say this, like time is of the essence, right? Today was our last auto ship day. So all of those, like what I consider kind of all your cherries on top, they're done, right? Now it's go time of where you need to. And listening to what everyone was talking about with the cab bonus is a perfect opportunity. It's not team requirement, right? It's about you. It's about what effort are you going to put in there. And what I would highly, highly suggest that you do is hit your cap. And if you're only 2 or 3 away from it, really, really push to hit it. So if you're at 7, you can get to 10. That's just, you got 3 days. Let's get an order a day, right? Break it down into digestible little chunks. If you got 2 today, hey, great. Keep pushing even harder, right? If you're 4 away, it doesn't matter. That's why we broke these into blocks of 10, because it's a lot easier to go after that than it is to say to go after 20. And then maybe you're at 21. You're like, there's no way I can get 19 in a couple of days. I would challenge you. I think it's doable, but it's the level of work ethic that you want to do. 2, a lot of people don't see this report that's out there. And I want you, if you're in your cloud office or if you have access to it, I want you to go into reports. I want you to scroll all the way to the bottom of the reports, and there's one called customer retention. Everybody should have this. These are all your customers, and it is color coded to help out to show you who's ordered this month, but it shows you the months prior, right? It goes back, I think, 5 months at this point in time. And so you should see a bunch of greens at the top, but then you'll start seeing some reds at this point in time. And Amber, I'm going to use you as a test person. So I'm looking in yours right now, and like Taylor Firestone has been ordering consistently each month. She hasn't placed an order yet this month. So that's a perfect person to pick the phone up, text them, call them, whatever your mode of media to contact people are, and say, hey, I noticed you haven't ordered this month. Here's something else that's helpful about this report. You have a column for credits. You can see how many credits are in their account as well, too. So you could tell if they had stuff in there, if they don't, and you'll be like, hey, I know you haven't ordered this month. Maybe times are a little tight. What can I do to help you get an order in right now? And if you have some extra credits, shoot them their way. If you got some extra promo codes, shoot them there. Like, do what it takes, but use that report or use the reports that are in your system to go and help you. And we put in their email and their text and their phone there that they've got listed as well, too. So you've got everything. You got a working report right there that you can go off of to go hit your cap. Hit your cab, and then work with your teams to see how close are they. But that would be my focus right now, and get the obtainable that you have immediately in front of you. If you have something from a past rank advancement bonus out there, and there's some definitely go at the PPA. Don't let that slide away, but focus on those couple of things that are really in front of your face that you have immediate control that can be done by your work effort, not by everybody else below you at that point. Get yours where you need to, then move the rest on, is what I would tell you to do right now. Second, yes, there is a promo coming. I've been chatting with Mr. Camper. I've given him quite a few ideas. And these ideas actually came from the field of stuff. So I'm waiting for him to decide on what he wants to do and the direction he wants to go. So something is coming. But again, I wouldn't be waiting on that. I would be focusing on what I can do. And if a promo comes out and it's like, well, I missed it by 10 minutes. Look, we'll make it what do you call it? I'm losing my mind on this one. We'll backdate and cover that if something happens between now and when we launch it at this point. But do what you can in the here and now so that you can hit these, so you can get the money that's you rightfully deserve towards you.
Do you know how many support tickets now are going to go in that says Cliff said?
Yeah, there are how many people on here? Yeah. Trust me, Chris Pike and her team know. Yeah, they're when I get to hang out with them and other times and go to their support meetings and stuff, I get a couple cross-eyed looks from support, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we love it when they're like Cliff said." And then sometimes I'll be like, "Well, Cliff said I could do this," and I'm like, "I don't even know who this person is." So my name's been tossed out there as well on a couple other things. So, but no, it's we want to make everybody's in to win, and we realize it's crunch time, and February's tough. It's fun and exciting because it is only 4 weeks, 28 days. but it's also stressful. 2 extra days is a lot when you look at what it takes sometimes to claim ranks, get back to ranks, or hit certain goals. So, put your plan into place now, make it digestible chunks. Don't make it to where it's 1 hour to go on Friday and you're just trying to cram everything in. And that's what everybody else is doing. I like to sit back and be like, I'm golden. I got everything hedged. I'm where I need to be. I don't have to, I'm now planning for March 1st to go bang, gangbusters out the door on that one.
Yeah. I do think this February has been the people that I have spoken to have had a better mindset of getting started early. Like they've been like, February's a short month. I'm going to hit cab 10 now. And now they've already hit cab 30, so they're definitely like, I'm running ahead and faster because I know it's a shorter month.
Yep.
Um, and I feel like, I thought the last day was tomorrow. Like I feel like the way we've kind of been running and people have been blowing up my phone with three-way chats and stuff. I'm like, oh, they're like closing this out today. Like this is tomorrow's the last day of the month. And somebody said yesterday we have 4 days left. I was like, oh, we do? Like I'm like, oh, I thought it was like really short, but it doesn't feel that way when you run. Yes, Siobhan hit cap 30 in Puerto Rico. Stephanie, so Cliff, I have to tell you, and I don't know if she's gonna like that I'm gonna share the picture, but I will. Um, Siobhan brought her computer to the pool, and I was like, "You have your computer at the pool?" I mean, because we use our phones, so I'm working on my phone, but she brought her computer. She's like, "Yeah, I'm closing out cab 30 today," and she did. She had to wait. We were 2 hours ahead, time wise. So she was like, this is driving me crazy. I'm having to wait for people to get off work. But here I'm like, already in dinner mode. And so that was a little stressful. She was like, okay, these people need to hurry up and get home from work so they can place their order. But she was not stopping and not giving up. So
Yeah.
Just love that. Special shout out for her. And
Siobhan, great job. Definitely on that. I'm a computer person too. And like if you see my office, you see me looking back and forth. I've got monitor, main computer here in front of me. And so, yeah, when I have to go on the road and try and be on a small screen when I'm used to having 10 different things up and open, it's tough, but congratulations on hitting cab 30, right? That you set your goal, you hit it ahead of time. That's what everyone runs, right? Check that box. I did my goal. I did my task.
all right, and we're getting blown up messages of everybody shouting her out. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you this. I know you probably can't tell us, but I'm going to ask it anyway, or everybody would get mad at me. Next getaway. Do we have any timing idea? Like what month will it be? Is it Mexico? Do we need a passport?
Yeah, I don't. What I can tell you is what I've asked Cami Christensen and the events team to do is to make this one as big as possible, right? I think that there is so much that's gained from having small and intimate ones. I think there's an opportunity there, and I've heard a lot of great feedback. So marketing's actually looking on one side. But when you get everyone in a place, right? When you pack 1,000, 2,000 people on a getaway type event, it's like you take over the place. And that's what I know she is concentrating on and looking towards, as well as, we've always kind of done the same type of quals and requirements to get towards these. And they've always been, if you look at how we've done them, think like there's a little method to our madness, right? We want you to be at a certain rank. So in my opinion, 4K and up, right? Let's open it up to the masses. It's if you bust your, I've seen people put in $7,000 worth of personal volume just on hitting cabs. They hit 4K, right? It's not about the rank, it's about what that check you get. We kind of talked about that on Monday's leadership call as well too. But we did the ranks. We do it with auto ships because it's great be in it deeper because it shows you're building a team, right? We do it on PPA for new growth. There's always been some type of component to it, but we know that it's, and it's got to be a stretch, right? It's not something that you like, if you just automatically qualify into it, that's no fun, right? So we want it to be a stretch goal, but not an unobtainable goal, right? So we're going to retool those as well, because I think with what we've been focusing everything on with the cab focus, right? With us customer auto ships or not, or just customer orders, I don't want us people to lose focus on that. That's, where we've been pointing in towards. So I've asked them to come up with something that incorporates that in as well too. And it gives the opportunity to do it. I'm just saying this. I think another cruise would be cool. And if we're on if we had half the damn boat, look, I mean, the other half would be thriving before they got off before we pulled back into port as well too. I know. So whatever we can do, my direction was make a big one, make a fun one. I would always say this, and you just reminded me. I was like, oh crap, my passport expires in March, so I need to get off the ball and go get mine redone as well too. But yeah, I would have that always ready because that's the places that we a lot of times we go are tropical and stuff. So if you don't have one, get one. You will need it eventually for an event we go on.
Yeah, and if you just need to renew, they've made it pretty simple now. Most everybody is available unless you're like adult to or child to adult, like switching over 18 and up, that you can renew online or you can do a good portion of it online. So
just hope Elon hasn't fired everybody, and if it's all AI driven, that'd be my own thing right there, right?
that's a whole nother Zoom.
We ain't going there. I'm just kidding with people,
I'm
right?
all for cutting debt and all the things, but there's been some things that I'm like, "Whoa, I feel like that's a little quick and overkill." Especially when my
just don't mess
son
with
now
what I
works
need.
for the DoD. Like, yeah. So he finally got the job, and then they're like, "Okay, all probationary," and I'm like, "He's like 2 weeks in. He's definitely probationary." So yeah, pray for that. Okay, so we don't get off topic. This one thing I would say to everybody on here is no matter, like Cliff said, no matter how close or how far you are from cab, don't count yourself out. I know some people, they're like, well, I'm nowhere close to my goals, so I'm just going to wait and start over fresh on March 1st. Please don't do that. I will tell you that one thing that we notice, and I've personally noticed, is when I put on the brakes and say, "Oh, I'm going to be better," starting the first, it never works out that way. It's like restarting over, And so if you run hard now, that momentum carries over into March because let's be honest, the work that we put in, the seeds that we plant now, the new reach outs we do now will pay off. They're not typically going to pay off tomorrow, but the seeds you've been planting for the last 90 days could be paying off right now. So if you continue to do that, then you'll see more momentum when you start March 1st or when we flip over to March 1st, you'll see more momentum. I know, okay, yeah, Cliff, we're getting questions on the getaway about do we think June? Do we think August?
I would look at sometime June, July, August seems like a right time period, and they're under pressure to figure it out because we would then be hitting qual months coming up very quickly as well
Yeah.
too. So stay tuned. I don't have that information, but it's something they're right up up to elevate right at this point. That's hot on their to-do list.
And let's talk elevate. Okay, this is different this year for the first time in several years. We had Palooza, now we have Elevate. What I know they said they're going to have several speakers. What can you tell us about Elevate and how can we help, or is there any corporate help as well for those that are going to be doing the hybrid?
So it's a change, right? Just just because we do the same thing year after year. Palooza wasn't even in existence until I think 16 or so, and that it came on. It was a great thing. It ran its course. We will bring it back. We just want to try something new and different, and realizing that the cost and the weight of the world is still weighing on people, and trying to get away for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, go home Sunday. That's a big expenditure. Flight costs, I really don't know where people are getting all this money. And I see people flying all over the place and planes are full. If inflation's going so crazy, because the cost on tickets is just ridiculous. So we wanted to figure out how we could get kind of the best of both worlds. And we saw what happened at the launch party and how well, not only was it attended, right? We were only looking for 100 people in person, and I think we hit that, but it was how many people attended virtually? And sometimes, you always grandstand on numbers. No, we had over, I think, 15 or 16,000 people register and watching. Now, you only saw like a couple hundred on the video board because we had
Mhm.
to set up a separate technology stack and invite those people into a different one so that we could broadcast their too. But we had, like, I'm sitting there watching as we turn live. We had a guy from Zoom behind the scenes. We were like, no, we need an expert here to help balance and manage it. And we saw all these people come in. So we're like, okay, let's do this again because there is that virtual option that gives people that can't get away. But you still want to participate. And we know everybody's always live streaming, and I see the phones set up on stands and broadcasting us when we're at convention. So let's just do this the right way for once, see what happens, see if this is a good thing. So for those that are in attendance, you get the full board. It is everything. You're going to get to see the two keynote speakers. It's not one, it's two. And I believe that information is coming out on who they are this week, if not early next week. Jason Camper is definitely going to have a massive speech, and his presentation is going to blow the doors off of it. We've got Dr. Chris D'Adamo coming back in to speak more about the science and the technology behind it. We're going to have as much fun as possible with awards and recognition. We've got a couple of new awards to give out this year as well too, which will be a blast. The party, the giveaways, and then the training that you're going to get as well too from a lot of our leaders like yourself that are watching this. So the full event being in person, you don't want to miss it if you can get there. And it's a great thing is fly in Friday night after you get off work, be there all day Saturday. Come on, you don't have to take PTO. You can getting away for one day is a lot easier than four a lot of times. Second, the virtual events. I think there's going to be two different levels to it. I'm still trying. I'm drinking from the hot fire hose as I come back on this. And I think there's just going to be an easy one to watch just to kind of have fun with. And then there's going to be the more intensive virtual one that gives you like pretty much the full access for it. So you would have two levels depending on, it's an all day Saturday, right? You got kid stuff. You might want to, you zoom in on some, but it's going to be easy, like no cost or very low cost on the tickets for it. But it's just not the same as being there. And I think everybody can honestly say, do you want to be on FaceTime on a vacation or do you want to be at the vacation? What is your choice? Where do you want to be? But we want those that you're not going to miss out if you go with the virtual route, but those that are in attendance are just, I mean, I know the swag and all the fun stuff that they're planning and pushing towards it as well. It's going to be plus it's a hyper immersive environment when you're there with the social media lounges, getting to be with your teams and just celebrating and all the fun stuff. I know that, people hitting new ranks. We're celebrating a bunch of new millionaires. We've got an 8-figure award, which we have not given out one in a while. Amber, I know you're coming for that one as well too. So yeah, trust me, everything comes with all the hard work that you guys put into it. But Elevate is it'll be new, it'll be exciting, it will be a little different. But I'm excited about it, and the entire team behind the scenes is too.
And then somebody had asked about the timing. So, because on the agenda that I have, it says 8 to 11:30 a.m. is exclusive networking and training for VIP attendees. So, does that mean that the broadcast isn't until after lunch? Am I reading that right?
I will have to get back to you on that one. I don't
Okay.
know. You stumped me with the question on that one.
Okay.
So
Well, because I was like, oh, it's like it starts at 8 and it goes till like 4:30. And then I was reading the breakdown. I'm like, oh, wait, maybe the broadcast isn't at 8. So we will get that information. Cliff, if you find that out, I can broadcast it out then.
will do. Yes.
We'll get that out. And then also, yeah, guys, when we find that out, that helps you plan better if you're doing hybrid. Something that I will recommend to y'all, one, pushing to grab those tickets, whether you're in person VIP or whether you are the hybrid, because those are all early bird, correct? Right now, like, will everything go up in price?
Yes, the standard ticket prices will go up. We want, if you want to plan, you want to get there, get those early bird ones there, they will jump up a tiny bit. And not like, oh, we're doubling the price. That would
Right.
just be rude. But yeah, we with what we sell on the early bird, that then gives us a hedge of, okay, understanding what we can do and how we're going to plan, the festivities and stuff for those that are all in attendance. So it gives us a good kind of stake in the sand moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will encourage all of y'all that if you're doing hybrid, here's a couple of ideas that some kind of had thrown out is one, um, yes, you can have it at your own house. You can invite your team members over. You can have it at a local venue. You can invite people. Here's something that if it's affordable, I would recommend if your local team can't get to Tampa, what about an Airbnb or a VRBO in your area or close by where everybody can get to? And you can then have it, everybody can get there the night before, Friday night, whatever, right? You're having team building and you're all together versus being in some, venue, because I guarantee an Airbnb split between y'all is going to actually cost you less than trying to book a community center or a hotel venue or something like that. So those are just ideas for you to throw out to have the opportunity to get together with your team. We even got some people that they're getting to Tampa and they may not be able to afford the full ticket, but they're with their team and they're going to watch hybrid while the rest of their team is going. So yes, Larissa said our team got an Airbnb all together. So there are options. Do not count yourself out. Do not count yourself out from team building, even if you can't get to Tampa. Okay. So, and then also be watching. What I've noticed, while airline tickets are stupid expensive, I have noticed that when I'm booking flights, one day they're high, one day they're low. They're literally like up and down now. So where in the past I've seen airline tickets kind of remain solid for a while, you could literally look one day and it be $600. You could look tomorrow and it's $300. So make sure that you are looking at airline options and prices and all the things. All right, Cliff, anything else? Last end of the month, last minute.
Just, get text, call, get people thriving, sample what you can. But be you. Don't go overboard, right? They'll see that uh-oh, someone's trying to be a little pushier, right? Just be your normal self. And that's what's going to attract all your friends and your past clients back to you. But don't be afraid to make that text or make that call to those that are in your downline lists that haven't ordered in a bit. Now's a perfect opportunity to get people thriving. There is no better chance than seeing results that are on my GLP. We know it works. Share other people's stories, share other people's pictures. But yeah, just be you and reach out and crush these goals and hit it. We got 3.5 days. What can you do in 3.5 days? I think you can do a hell of a lot of volume with what we've got coming.
Absolutely. And guys, kind of on the same thing, what he said, when he just said that, I thought about like I heard the term coming in here about commission breath. And I didn't understand that at first, but it's where people can tell that you're just going after the sale, right? So all these people, why do we want them to thrive? It's not just because we want the sale or because we want to hit cap. Those are all bonus extras. We want people to thrive because we know how good we feel. We want people to thrive because we know how it felt not sleeping, not having energy, feeling like crap. We want people to thrive because we want them to be a promoter as well, right? We know what it was like to be living with massive debt over our shoulders. So if you're leading with what you want to help for them versus how they can help you, you're going to see a difference in your bottom line. You're going to see a difference in those cab bonuses come in and the sales and all of that. So thank you, Cliff. Thank you, everybody from Puerto Rico. We appreciate you all so much. We cannot wait for Elevate. We cannot wait for the next getaway. Cliff, let everybody know we're ready for that. Thank you. All right, 4 minutes till payday. Don't forget those payday posts. What is this doing for you? And why does somebody want your life? Bye, y'all.